Ho, ho, ho.
What'd you call me?
Yeah, you know that. Ho, ho, ho. Happy Hanukkah. By the way, as long as we're starting, what's going on with those nails? They're insane.
Isn't that cool?
Welcome
Christmas time.
to Gemini's Nails for Christmas. As I was saying, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Festivus, Blessed Solstice. I don't know if there are any...
I think it's Joyous Kwanzaa.
Or there's Kwanzaa, whatever it is you celebrate, have a freaking festive one.
That's what I tell people, yeah.
Welcome to a very festive edition of Food and Loathing. Today's podcast coming to you from Bjork Caviar on Main Street in the Arts District, because my holiday hope is that you all get your champagne wishes and your caviar dreams come true this holiday season. We'll explain how you could do that in time for your New Year's celebration at the center of the show, when we're going to be joined. You know what? He's joining us a little early. Christian Sandefeldt is here, the owner of the store. Thanks for hosting us, Christian.
Well, thanks for coming here.
I really appreciate being here. I love it. We got a great view of like the coolest part of Main Street in the Arts District right out the window. Having a good time. By the way, I'm saying we, so I should mention I'm talking about myself, Al Mancini, my co-host, Samantha Gemini Stevens here in person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Insane nails, insane fingernails this week for this woman. It looks like whoever designs the interior of a Bentley or a Rolls Royce designed your fingernails.
Oh, Deja will love to hear that. I'll make sure she listens to this and call her out. Deja at Posari Salon on Durango.
So I'm always excited when Gemini is here, but she's even fancy for us today. And Andrew Morgan of Happy Hour Vegas, man. This dude, welcome.
Thank you. I don't have the fancy nails like Gemini. I hope I'm still welcome at this table.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're hardcore because you already recorded your report for today, but then when you heard we were going to be coming down here and talking caviar, you decided you were going to come down and join us. So happy whatever it is you celebrate to you as well, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate being here.
And of course, Rich Johnson with us.
Rich
Johnson's with us in spirit.
He's your backdoor Santa Claus.
Probably not going to hear him this episode, but maybe. Rich, you can feel free to jump in anytime on the back end. And the fact you're hearing this episode at all means he's done his usual excellent job engineering.
We love Rich.
Yeah. So I should say, as we're recording this, we are the day before Christmas Eve.
Yep.
We're going to be dropping this the day after Christmas.
Yep.
And because probably a lot of you are going to be too hungover to do anything around that
Potentially.
Everybody having a nice holiday season, though?
Yeah, so far so good.
Yeah.
Beautiful weather in Vegas.
Yeah, okay. Not a lot of cheer. Everybody's
I just say 60, 65, whatever degrees today is going to be beautiful. I'm happy with that.
But it's okay.
I've been in a lot a places lately. I like this.
Where you grown up.
That's true.
Yeah.
Very must have been.
That's not what I came for.
No.
Oh, man. So if you're listening today, we have been messing around with the lineup recently, trying to keep things moving smoothly over the holidays. Once again, I feel bad about this. I'm pushing back our long-form interview with Robbie Cunningham of Guerrilla Pizza, mostly because I need shit for next week's show, and I don't think I'm going to be able to assemble all of you bastards here next week.
Nope.
So we're pushing that back, but we still have plenty of show for you today. As I said, Christian Sandefeldt is here. We are going to be talking in the middle of the show. We're going to get a holiday primer on how to shop for caviar, how to use it, how to spruce up your holiday parties, your New Year's Eve party, whatever you're doing. So we're going to be talking about that later in the show. I also have a short interview with Nacho Daddy's Keith Glynn, reflecting on that Mexican restaurant's 15th anniversary.
God, has it been that long?
I know, no shit, right? And
Wow.
I visit the brand new How You Doin' Pizza on the Strip.
I saw that.
Spoke
Good
with
one.
owner Gabby Goodman there. And of course, Andrew has his happy hour report.
Yeah.
But first, because Gemini, Andrew, and I visit more restaurants and bars in a typical week than most people do in a year, we like to tell you what we're doing. And this week, I'm going to ask Gemini to start.
Absolutely. So I finally went into Amador Cocina Fina.
Fucking
Oh,
awesome
my
restaurant.
God.
Nice.
I went with our friends, John and Leanne Notarbartolo, huge friends of the show, friends
Love
of
them.
ours, outside of the show, of course. Had a wonderful time. We decided to do a la carte instead of a tasting menu. Chef sent out a couple of things. It was really good to talk to him. He's just seems excited and happy about what he's doing right now. I don't have it in front of me. I should have made better notes, but there's this thing on the menu. You've got to try it. I had a thing last week where I had to have cheesecake or carrot cake. And
you have
so
the carrot cake
a
sea
friend of mine went online and had some delivered to me, and then another friend baked me a carrot cake.
Damn.
So on the menu at Amador Cocina Fina is this thing called the carrot cake. And it is this, it's got like, I think it's got foie and it's got the warming spices, and I'm probably describing it totally wrong, but go and eat it. It's this little puff thing.
Had sea urchin the day I was there.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, it's the sea
Yeah.
urchin. But we just,
And
I mean,
some maybe Calabrian peppers or something.
yeah,
I
see,
think.
you got it better than I do. I even
Yeah.
took a picture of the menu and then forgot to make my notes for today, but just loved it. I mean, I love the space. It's brighter. It makes it look bigger, even though I know the footprint from EDO hasn't changed. It's still that beautiful, tiny, long sort of space.
So is it the old EDO?
Yeah.
Oh,
And it has a
okay.
big green sign over it that says Amador now. And instead of this teeny tiny sign that, made it look like a speakeasy, which I liked.
I think what people need to realize about this restaurant is Oscar Amador is taking off all over the
So
place.
good.
EDO had outgrown that space.
Yeah.
He's doing Anima by EDO. It's doing incredibly well. Brasseria by EDO is coming very, very soon. He even has a place in Seattle that's doing really, really well. He kind of had outgrown that space.
Yeah.
There was no reason for him to be in that tiny space, which is a culinary incubator, really, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Chatatai, EDO, lots of restaurants went through that tiny little space, and he decided to keep it as a workshop where he could do without his partners, without all of that, where he could just do the cool shit.
And that's exactly how the menu reads.
It's like his lab.
Yeah,
Mad scientist.
exactly.
I love
like
that.
this is what we're doing this week, and there's something for everybody. If you want vegan, there's vegan. If you want vegetarian, there's vegetarian. If you want meat, there's 4 or 5 or 6 different options. If you like game, he's got something really creative going for that.
He got game?
He got game.
Oh, wow.
Seafood, I just the creativity is the biggest thing that got me outside of all of the dishes we tried, and we absolutely loved them. Just watching everybody work, looking at the different types of menus. There's 2 tasting menus. There's an a la carte menu. You can mix and match. Cocktails were fantastic. I had a dirty martini with a Gilda on top, which is the peppers, an olive, and the anchovies. So super happy about that creativity. They still have the cart if you were looking for gin drinks and things like that, because that's just part of what he
Part
does.
of what they do, yeah.
So loved that. And then the next night I went with other friends of the show, Janice and Patrick Druez. We went to Le Club at Partage,
Oh, yeah.
which is the teeny little spot kind of off to the left of the main restaurant. And instead of doing the tasting menus and all of that, which I had just done with them last month, this is you sit down, they have flights of champagne, they change it up every month. They've got little bites that go with things. So we tried the December flight with 3 different champagnes. We had bites. One of them included salmon on this beautiful, almost like a French beignet pillow, the really soft, crispy outside, but like almost nothing in the center. There was an oyster that was really great with like I think it was a yuzu mignonette kind of thing going on. And I did try separately a burger. It was on choux pastry dough for the buns. It had a piece of foie gras on top. The burger is, I know you can't see things on the show, it's maybe 1.5 inches wide and, half an inch tall. It's not this great big patty or anything, but it was cooked perfectly to medium rare. It's like,
Inch and a half.
just this little disc.
It's like a meat cookie.
Like
Right.
smaller than a
Yeah.
hockey puck,
It was
right?
teeny tiny, but you just bite into the damn thing, and it was just beautiful. And then, of course, because it's Partage and Nikolai is so good with his wines, we ordered a couple by the glass. And
And
then
the caviar?
we did not have any caviar that
Really?
night. No.
Wow.
I knew I was coming here.
Where the caviar's from?
That's a good question. I like that. So just really, really lovely. And then
People need to remember Partage. I mean,
They
it
really
is your
do.
French fine dining. It's in Chinatown. I always say it's probably at least 40% less than you'd pay for the equivalent level
I
of
think
French
so.
dining on the Strip. I've always said about the restaurant, and by the way, I haven't been there in a while. I owe them
Yeah,
a
you should
visit.
go.
It's been a little minute, but I always say it's a restaurant that deserves to be mentioned in the same conversations as the best French places on the Strip.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily saying that it is comparable to a Robuchon or a Guy Savoy or those places, but it deserves to at least be in that conversation.
I think it does. I mean,
and it's
they're
very affordable.
They're super creative. They change the menu monthly. Chef Yuri travels a lot, so he changes his menu to go along with things that he's discovered that way. He did actually stop by, so we got to say hi to him, and
Cool.
was really excited to be in that space. And then I went to Gabby.
How's their pastry these days?
It was so good.
Because their pastry chef went over to Fortune Events, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
But
okay.
the shoe that we had, and then we had a couple of bites of something sweet at the end, was just beautiful.
Wait, is that still at Partage?
At Le Club, yep.
At Le Club. Okay.
And that you don't need to be a part of a club. They do have a club you can join, but you don't have to. You can go in, you can make a reservation just like you could at Partage. It's just not the big tasting menu and all of that.
Right.
Much smaller menu, all a la carte, and then all the champagne that you can drink. Just amazing.
That sounds almost as good as the Unlimited Sips Club at Panera Bread.
I'm not so. Oh boy.
So that's my report
That's
today.
your
There you
report
go.
today.
You've been to Panera.
And then I just want to throw, I went to Gabby Coffee with a girlfriend. We were thinking tea or something, and we were going to go to this place until we realized it was just really far south, out
That's
of our
the
way
one
that
that's
day.
like totally over the top on Spring Mountain
It
Road.
is,
behind that
and there's like no
door.
signage.
There's
It's just
no
a great.
sign,
You
yeah.
just have to know because it's a great big wooden door surrounded by other businesses that have great big signs. And we went in, and I had this salmon dish. It was some Japanese noodles, but cut up, so you weren't like spinning it around
Yeah.
or anything like that. So it was more of a salad.
You're not
but
the Lady and the Tramp
with
or
the
anything.
yeah, right. With the cold noodles and smoked salmon and just all kinds
Oh,
of little
yeah.
goodies in it. It was huge. It took me 3 meals to eat the damn thing. And then I did get a burnt Basque cheesecake and took that home, and that was really lovely as well. So
Did
definitely.
you intentionally want it burnt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Basque cheesecake
I
in
mean,
my
it's got
opinion,
a
should
little
have that
bit of-
burn on
a
top.
little bit, right,
This had a
but-
really good one. It was. It had that char taste versus the charcoal burn taste because some people go a little too far.
Yeah, that's
As much as I like the burn, so yeah, it was really lovely. It could have been thicker. I'll put that out there.
Okay.
Basque cheesecake, I think of really tall, and then the top sinks in a little bit. This was a little bit thin, but it was still delicious.
You know,
so.
about 1 year ago, almost exactly 1 year ago, it was for my birthday. Sue called up our friend Alicia Chevaton.
Oh, yeah.
And asked her if she could make a Basque cheesecake for me
Nice.
because she knew I would like it. And Alicia had never made one before, but you know she's a
Kind of-
hardcore
yeah.
serious chef, so she went out and she researched it and she made me an absolutely fantastic Basque cheesecake
Awesome.
for my birthday. So
Good.
thank you, Alicia.
So
a year
good.
later.
So, and I've had some stuff delivered to the house, but you know, just some basics. So nothing really big to report there. But I was really glad to go out and just see Oscar's new place, see Partage, and then, like I said, that salmon dish at Gabby was. People forget they do savory food, not
Right.
just the desserts and the weird coffees and teas. So definitely get in there.
I think if I was going to do acid again, I'd like to hang out there.
That place is so cool.
It feels like you can just push into a fucking couch there, and
Is that like a New Year's resolution or something?
I like that. Yeah.
I don't
Let's
know.
do more acid and hang out.
I mean, well, first of all, I do think everybody should resolve to do more of something,
Right.
in the
Yeah.
year. Fuck this. What are we quitting?
Yeah.
I say, what are we able to expand our decadence into? And that gets tougher for me because I burned out most of my vital organs on one vice or another in my day. But yes, I think people should. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, more acid for the new year.
There
Maybe
you go.
some mushrooms.
All right.
I can help you.
You know,
Good stocking stuffers, right?
Yeah. Right.
why not? What the hell,
Get some
man?
caviar, some acid, you know.
Done.
Hey, boom.
You know, most of us were inspired to move here by Hunter S. Thompson, right? So, that's just me, really? Oh, my bad. Okay, on that note, Andrew, any acid this week or any cool restaurant visits?
I mean, besides Panera Bread. So
by the way, I go to Panera Bread.
Sure.
The Panera Bread, man, like as a place to go for a fucking sandwich, no, it is not like Al Antico Venayo by
No,
any
exactly.
stretch of the imagination for a sandwich. It's not proper sandwich even, but you know what? Like, it's better than what you get at most fast food chains.
Absolutely.
it's exact.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no Basque cheesecake.
Yeah.
No.
There's a blueberry muffin.
Yeah,
Kitchen sink cookie.
kitchen sink cooking.
Yes.
Exactly.
See?
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yes.
That's right. We
So-
all admit it.
There's nothing wrong
But
with that.
I'm part of the club, man. It's
Yeah.
like $5 a month, and you get coffees and
You
and
actually
you
pay
go.
to be part of a Panera club.
$5. I'm happy to do it.
They should pay you to
The
be in that club.
incredulity in
man.
your
Right?
voice was perfect.
No, like,
You're paying
you're
for that
paid
shit.
to go to. I mean, like, I thought, like, I don't know. I have this image of you, Andrew.
Yeah.
And I picture, like, you've got one of the Louis XIII lockers over at Poppy's Steak. You pay for that. You pay for all the cool private VIP memberships.
Yeah.
You're probably over at Doberman. You probably got one of those things. But Little did I know you pay to be in the Panera.
There you go.
Right?
You
Which
know?
I never knew existed.
Just when you think you know someone.
Right. Does that make you a Renaissance man or
Just someone who likes cheap coffee.
There you go.
But besides Panera, it's actually been a busy week. You know, you and I ran into each other a bunch of times.
Yeah.
For Butcher and Thief, St. Felix, the Barbie, Malibu Cafe, Nacho Daddy, stuff like that. And I covered a lot of these in Happy Hour Report
Yep.
that you'll hear later
Yeah.
time. But all really good. But what's on my agenda
Ooh, yeah.
is really interesting. So it's that time of year. It's a Consumer Electronics Show,
Yep.
CES.
Oh, yes. So
And the
glad
porn
I don't
show.
have to
And
do
the
that.
porn show
Porn
right
show's
after.
got to come too because they love those electronic boys.
Exactly. So, so never a dull moment here in the city. So CES is great, but it's funny because I have all of my, my previous life in Silicon Valley.
Yep.
And Silicon Alley in New York, and so all of my guys come in here, and it's just like, Morgan, where we going to eat?
Yep.
So I'm putting it out there,
Yeah.
And here's. I'm kind of happy to hear this because, usually these guys with their expense accounts, they're going to go to the Strip. They're going to go find that steakhouse and, just take a bunch of selfies. So they're kind of inspired to say, Arts District, downtown, like
Yes.
off Strip. There's a ton of great places. Where
Absolutely.
should we go?
They
What
should
we do?
download the Neon Feast app or go to neonfeast.com.
Well, duh. Who do you exactly?
I've been doing that all week. Somebody says, "Where would you eat in Vegas?" Oh, well, there's this great app.
Yeah, I just sent them the link.
Yep.
Arts
Okay.
District, 14 restaurants, all of them are rock and roll.
Perfect.
Which, by the way, one of them is Ada's.
Yep.
And they
Yes.
just moved
They did.
down to here to the Arts District.
Yeah.
So I want to go check that one out. So I think you and I were talking about that.
Yeah, we got to go over there.
Yeah.
Get a meal.
Love it.
But like any suggestions, hit me up with where I can bring a bunch of Silicon Valley yahoos when they're in Vegas. That's
Enhanced porn stars.
exactly, and porn stars to somewhere where it's Arts District, Vintage Vegas,
That's
that
right.
kind of thing. So that's what I'm looking for.
Yes.
I miss the porn awards. They used to be fun in the early
It
days.
used to be fun.
I used to
I'm
go
sure
back
they're
in
still
the
fun.
90s, man. Back in the 90s, like literally you'd be sitting at a table, like at a banquet table with the porn stars. And you know how like you go to like the bullshit rubber chicken dinners and
Right,
stuff, right?
yeah.
And, like so the centerpieces, everybody wants to take the centerpieces home. They were all dildos,
Of course.
things like that. And there was actually like one year there was actually a buffet in an open bar and like porn stars sitting at your table, and it was like a lot of fun. But yeah, it kind of grew out of control.
Yeah.
CES I do not miss covering.
Yeah.
And I remember there's a period for about 5 years when every year the biggest news out of CES was just that the TVs got bigger.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a 120-inch TV.
my God.
Oh yeah,
today.
and you know what? Now this year it's all going to be AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we'll cover
So
that later. on.
I mean, you don't even have to go to the show.
Yeah,
They're just going to create it out of AI.
it's just going to be automatically fed into
That's
your
right.
system, right?
Just go to the CES AI site and say, what did I see at the show?
Yeah.
Okay, so on that note, Christian, have you been dining any place good that you would like to tell us about?
And are you a Panera Club member?
I'm not a Panera Club member. I might become a kitchen sink cookie member if they had that.
Yeah, baby.
But no, I don't even drink coffee. I'm that boring.
dear.
But yeah, I had some friends over from Miami, British as well, and we were both always looking forward to going to Gymkhana, which I thought would be plausible since I have some contacts, but not even.
Figured you had enough juice to get into.
All the caviar in the world didn't work.
No, nothing worked for that one. We tried
Yeah.
every time, anything, but no. So we ended up going to Colt, which was really good. It was a great experience. I think it's the whole thing is
Yeah.
such a from start to finish. The service is excellent. The room's beautiful.
Coat in the Venetian, for people who aren't
Yeah.
Yep.
familiar,
Yeah.
it is I think it's the only Michelin-starred, outside of Vegas, the only Michelin-starred Korean barbecue spot, right? So you
Steakhouse,
cook
yeah.
your own food, you do all that? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had some great sort of the kimchis they had on the side. All the sides were fantastic. I did go, but I mean, this is about Vegas, but I had just before that, I've got customers in Denver and went to. If anyone goes there, are we allowed to talk about Denver? Or just
Talk about it. Yeah.
Anything you want.
I've got a guy called Johnny Curiel. He's got 4 restaurants there now, and 2 of them got Michelin stars, more or less the same.
Excuse me, I'm just going to, while we're talking,
Yeah.
move the mic a little bit closer to your mouth. I'm just
There
a
we
go.
little worried
Is that
about
better?
what we're getting
Yeah.
on levels here. Cool, thank you.
Yeah.
And please tell us again.
No, so I went to Alma no, I didn't go to Alma Fondafina. I went to Altenio. Alma Fondafina is one of its restaurants. Altenio in Cherry Creek in Denver, which was absolutely excellent. Elevated Mexican, but it's just it's on a different level. It's really, really clever, really good food. Highly recommend if anyone goes to Denver. But here recently, no, it's been the week before I went to Bazaar Meat again.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing, right?
It's so good.
I haven't been to the new space yet, but I know you've told me it's great.
That's
Not only is it
beautiful.
the
Yeah.
most beautiful space I've seen for a long time. Even though it's the same interior designer, but you can tell that maybe she's developed a bit over the last 10 years.
I also feel like they may have had more of a budget this time around. It feels
That's
like
fair.
there was
Yeah.
more of a budget than the new SLS.
Yeah.
Because when SLS opened, it was like that LA and Miami idea that if you go to a really divey, rundown place and you throw a fresh coat of paint on it, all the beautiful people are going to want to go there. So SLS didn't put a lot of money into designing that restaurant, I feel like. And Venetian Palazzo, when they design a restaurant, I mean, they build them a whole new space. They built them a whole new, escalator and
See,
shit.
that's amazing.
Yeah, no, and the food is even better than it was at SLS Stroke Sahara. So
Yeah.
other than that, no, not much. Recently, been a lot of work now since F1 when that starts. Then it's just full on for us through CES.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not much time to do anything else.
I'm glad we caught you now then, because it's just
Yeah, it's a
Wow.
crazy time of year. I mean, then we go through CES, we go through the Porn Awards, then we got the Super Bowl, then we get about a 2-week breather, then we got March Madness.
Oh
that
my
comes
gosh, yeah.
around, and then after March
Good Lord,
Madness,
it's the end of
there's usually a
2026 already.
breather.
No, you actually, and started last year, WWE.
Oh, yeah, that's
WrestleMania.
right.
Now that's
yes.
a huge thing, too, in April.
Yep.
So,
But I mean, everyone talks about how suddenly there's no people in Vegas, which is BS. But I mean, I remember in 2016, the first Christmas here, this period was dead. I mean, there was no one, nothing going on. But now, I mean, it's not a break from F1.
Yeah.
It's just full on all the way in.
Yeah.
It's good to hear, man.
yeah.
Very good to hear.
I go to the Las Vegas Convention Visitors Authority, the website.
Yeah.
And you have all of the data that's there. It's updated on a regular basis. And we're seeing on average 3 million visitors every month.
That's
so
amazing.
I know that's down 10% from
Sure.
previous years and whatever it is, but still 3 million people.
It's who we're missing, man. It is that mid-level looking for, a bargain tourist, and that's why everybody's complaining. But there are bargains out there. We're just not getting that mid-level tourist.
Yeah.
They're not happy with the U.S. economy. They don't want to come in from other countries. They don't because they don't know what's going to happen to them and where they're going to end up if they do. And I mean, but the high-end people are coming.
Yeah.
The conventioneers are still coming.
They are.
Oh, yeah.
I think I know for a fact. I mean, Jose told me himself, and so did his executive chef. They're crushing it on private events over at Bazaar Meat. I mean, those.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone wants a deal. Sponsored by happyhourvegas.com. but
Have you seen the
Private
private
dining,
event
yeah.
space? That
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's amazing.
Unbelievable.
That's small, not the big. Well, that's amazing as well. But the smaller one, the one you can have for smaller parties with the entrance coming from the garage and everything. It's stunning.
Yeah. It's really, really cool.
and I'm pumped that downtown Arts District, they're getting in on
Oh
that.
my
action,
gosh, yes.
right?
Yeah.
It's not just, the convention's private dining. It's not just for the strip anymore.
No, it's not.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, where have I been?
Yeah, where have you
Sorry.
been? I know where one place you've been, but I was waiting for you to.
Yeah, right after last week's show, Jim and I both went over to the In Limbo pop-up at Durango Social Club.
Yep.
And we got some smash burgers.
Oh, so good.
Jim and I didn't fuck around, man. I'll tell you. We're
No.
both taking ours
Yeah.
to go. And I'm like, okay, I'll have the double, basic burger, double. And Gemini's like, I want both of your burgers triple.
I don't think I sounded quite like that, but I did repeat it because they weren't sure. They said, "Did you say you wanted one of each and triple?" And I said, "Yes." And go ahead and throw extra cheese and whatever on there.
Basically,
Damn.
Yeah.
Sex
And then I sat there and had a
Messing
cocktail.
around.
I had a cocktail while they were being made.
oh, and they're so good.
They're so good.
I like
those
the way you
burgers.
roll.
Right?
Gemini does not fuck around,
No.
man. Absolutely.
Especially around the holidays. It's so hard to sometimes visit with your friends when you are busy doing other things, and when food and drink is kind of your life. It's hard to sometimes go and just sit down and enjoy it. So it was really fun that we got to sit there at the counter for a few minutes. We know the chef. We just got to. I love it.
And I'll tell you, I've been doing. I don't put out a list of my favorite restaurants at the end of the year because I run a an app that has
That does
lists
that.
I'm updating all day, every day, all year round. So I don't really do that. I listen to other people's. I mock other people's because all lists should be mocked. I mean, no, just to get the conversation
I
going.
get it.
I believe that helps.
Yeah.
But I've been telling people Durango Social Club's one of my favorite
Yeah.
openings of the year. It's got a little bit of everything. It has fine dining. It has great smash burgers.
Yep.
It has interesting Indian food depending on the day of the week.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
there.
The pop-ups that are there.
Yeah, the pop-ups are
I love the
fantastic,
concept.
and I got a chance to. I didn't record it because it was just a nice, friendly conversation. But talked to Dan Cromer for a minute, who has Other Mama and who is the guy behind Durango Social Club, and he just said he's been just having so much fun with the pop-ups and
Yeah.
seeing such different things come in that brings in such different clientele for different. So he's able to put his stuff out in front of more people by inviting chefs to come in and be creative. That's
Yeah,
brilliant.
I think he's finding a nice niche for him
Yeah.
being creative, but also not having all the responsibility on him to be creative.
Well, I like the word you used earlier, incubator, is a good one for that because
Yeah, I think you were saying
maybe
that,
it was
but
you.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
but
I don't know.
yeah, it's because they're doing that. I just feel like people are hearing about more of the beautiful chefs that we have that may not have their own brick and mortar yet.
Yeah.
So anybody that's going to do stuff like that has my money.
Yeah, so love Durango Social Club. That same night, on our way to the VGK game, Sue and I stopped at Butcher and Thief for a beverage. Actually, interesting, we almost didn't get in, right? Like, we walk in, the place has only been open like a day or two. I didn't go to the grand opening party
Yeah.
because I had something else.
You
That
had
was
a-
Sue's work event
yeah.
that night, right? So, like, we walk in, and the bar's kind of empty, and we're like, oh, we're just going to sit at the bar. And they're like, oh, no, the bar's all reserved. We have big people coming in. I'm like, okay. They're like, you can sit outside. I'm like, no, it's a little chilly.
A little chilly for that.
Okay, fine. We'll leave. No problem. I mean, that happens.
I'll come
right?
back.
I'm happy for them if they're doing well. So I waved. I saw Johnny Church over there behind the bar,
Yep.
you know, because he's helping as a consultant
Yep.
right now. So I waved to Johnny, and I guess Johnny waved, you know, talked to Corey. And as Sue and I are walking out, you know,
And they're like,
back
"Get
in the
back here."
parking lot, Corey's like, come back in, we'll get you a seat at the bar. I'm like, I don't want to impose, you know. And then, of course, they started throwing way more food at us
Oh,
because
God.
we were on our way to the VGK
Right.
game. And I had a great mocktail, by the way. Their mocktails there, definitely
Yeah.
worth.
Okay.
There's only, I think, 2 or 3 on the menu, but they're very good.
It's okay.
Sue liked the cocktails. They sent out some Hamachi Crudo.
Yes.
It looked a little more dressed than the classic,
Okay.
the Nobu version that we all know, right?
Yeah.
There was a little more going on there. It was yuzu soy, some pickled jalapenos, some jicama, actually, to kind of fill it out.
I like
but
that.
you could still taste the really beautiful fish underneath, so that's the
Yeah.
important thing. Peanut butter bacon, which comes with jalapeno cucumber jelly.
Sign me up.
Yeah, I mean,
No?
no, it's very, very good. It's just not an idea that I felt needed to be done.
Okay.
Right? Like,
Just 'cause you
they
can
do
doesn't
it
mean you
well.
should.
And if it sounds good to you, then fuck on. You're
Yeah.
gonna love
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
You're
I'm
absolutely
definitely
gonna
trying
love
that.
It. Just not what I would go back. And honestly, you could taste the quality of the bacon that they're using.
Yeah.
They're using really, really good bacon there. They got some cheesesteak egg rolls, which are done to a slightly higher level than one would expect for things like that.
Yeah.
And then we did some shishito peppers. Everything I just said, $20, the most expensive item. Things like the shishitos are $14, the egg rolls $16.
Okay.
I mentioned it because we didn't have a steak, but all the steaks at Butcher and Thief, honestly, I think their most expensive steak, maybe somewhere around $54.
Wow.
Which is like
Yeah.
less than the cheapest steak on the strip.
Right.
And of course, they do that they're not using prime, they're using choice.
Okay.
But they're sourcing their choice steaks
Yep.
much more carefully. They're sous videing them, I'm being told. So
Yeah.
haven't tried that yet.
Okay.
But everything I've tried at Butcher and Thief has been great. So thank you guys.
Yeah. Did
Thank-
you see anything on the dessert menu?
I didn't know.
It's like they have, when we were there for the event anyways, they had this like little platter and they got the cookies, they got.
Oh, we
yeah.
talked
We
about
were
this
talking
last week
about
because
this
I
last
learned
year,
something
yeah.
new last week, which that actually started with Carrie Simon.
Okay.
Yeah, the junk food dessert.
Yeah.
platter
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Carrie
'Cause-
Simon
so
and
my friend
Elizabeth
Amanda
Wilding.
is,
Yeah.
I think it's chief pastry with
Yeah.
Corey and his concepts. And so she texted me before I knew that he was going, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to make it a thing. But she goes, but look what's back. And so I mentioned it last week, and I got a history lesson. It actually does come from Carrie himself. So that made me even happier. I learned something new.
There you go. Well, I mean, you know, Al's goat right now.
I
It's got
know.
like this shade of pink going on.
I know, I
It reminds
love
me
it.
of the cotton candy. It's like, I had to say it.
There used to be an old poster of Carrie with and with all these hot chicks around
Yeah.
him at the Palms, and they all had like beehive hairdos made out of the cotton candy.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, yeah.
See, and the one covering their privates.
Oh boy.
You know?
We talk about that. If you
Yeah.
read my articles about
Yep.
Yeah,
Carrie's
yeah.
life, we talk about
Good
porn
articles.
stars. But
Food and Loathing
yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Food and
By the
Loathing
way,
got
that
Vegas.
whole Butcher and Thief, that whole area of the Bend. You and I were talking about this one. You've got Evolve, St. Felix. You've got Butcher and Thief now. That's a developing area. Something I'm pretty excited about.
And if you're somebody who loves great haircuts, the Larry Rea, who moved Makeshift Union out of
Yeah.
what is now part of Ada's, because they've expanded the space from
okay.
Esther's into that space.
Yeah.
He reopened Makeshift Union at the Bend. And
At
I
the
have been
Bend?
there a couple of times, and I love the space.
Yeah, I may need to stop by again today for a shave on my way home.
There you go.
Just look
We're just
I know,
too
I need it
fuzzy,
too.
too
We're just missing a caviar shop at the Bend. You know, come on. You know anyone, Christian? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we need for an expansion west, but
I mean, yeah, the rich people are all over on that
On the
side.
west side.
but they like to get delivery, so I think we
You got them covered.
That makes sense.
Some DoorDash.
Yeah.
Caviar DoorDash.
A couple more that I've been to, then we're
Yeah.
going to take our break. How You Doin'?
Okay.
Yes, that's a pizza shop.
Love it.
It's located at the top of the new BLVD Mall, which is not the Boulevard Mall.
Correct.
I'm telling you a really short story. About
Somebody
how,
recently wrote that it was at the Boulevard Mall. I'm like, no,
I
it's
think
not.
somebody went to the Boulevard
I
Mall.
think
and I got
so.
looking for it.
Because I read it and it was spelled out, and I went, no, Boulevard Mall and BLVD are two very different
Yeah.
experiences.
And this is right on the corner of Harmon and Las Vegas
Yep.
Boulevard.
Yeah.
This is a third floor thing. Right now, they already have a Puma store in that mall. They have an Adidas store coming, so I guess it's going to be sneaker motherfucking central.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it open, the mall?
Huh?
It's open already?
The Puma store's open, and How You Doin' is open,
open.
right now.
Got it.
Pizzas were good. They're great mall pizzas. I wouldn't go all the way across town for them, but they're
Okay.
very, very good if you happen to be around there. But they're not destination pizza shop. They're a very good level of you're already out and
Yep.
you're in the neighborhood pizza shop.
Okay.
They're doing a spin on Neapolitan with some sourdough. It's a husband-wife team. They have I think they're trying to get 10 by the end of this year, right? And I think this is like
Wow.
a cat who made a bunch of money in finance or whatever.
Sure.
And so this is what he's doing. They're out of Florida, by the way. I spoke with both of them. I only recorded my conversation with the wife, Gabby Goodman. She's one of the owners and the chief brand officer. We began by discussing the location.
Yeah, we're lucky to be one of the first food options open. I mean, we're next to In-N-Out Burger, which is amazing. This location kind of fell into our lap, and it has been an incredible project going on here to watch this come to life. I mean, all retail downstairs, all the food is upstairs, and it's amazing. The location speaks for itself.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as you and I were discussing off mic, Vegas has a lot of different kinds of pizza, and that's what makes this city great, is that people don't have just one expectation of one type of pizza. So how would you describe the pizza you do?
We are a New York style Neapolitan pizza. We are thin, crispy, sourdough, and delicious.
Okay, cool. So is this individual pizzas, large pizzas? I'm assuming it's not something to take home to the kids, but then again, you do have hotels around here. So
It can be. We have a 12-inch personal pizza and a 16-inch pie.
And what would be the one type of pizza you would recommend that people really have to try?
I would try just the OG, our original pizza. It's delicious. It's our take on a margarita pizza.
And then while I'm there, I'm just going to tell you, so this was just how out of touch I am, right? Like 3 months ago, I went to an opening of a Jabberwocky show, right?
Oh, okay,
so
yeah.
Afterwards, they're all like, you want to go to the after party? You want to go to the after party? And it's always like, some really young, whoever's like lowest on the totem pole at the fucking PR firm, right? And like there was a time that I knew every venue in this town.
Yeah.
I used to party at all of them. And I'm really out of touch, right? And she's going like, I go, yeah, where's the after party? I'll go over. She's like, it's at Puma Rooftop. I'm like, I don't know what that means. She's all like, Puma Rooftop, don't you know?
The
I'm like,
shoe store has a
I'm
rooftop?
like, is this a venue? Is it a shoe store? Is it a club? Like, what is it? So now I find, because I just gave up on her at that point, because she just kept saying the words Puma Rooftop.
You
And
didn't
I'm
know what it
just
was?
going, I have no idea what this means. I'm an old man. I'm not going to your cool event. Fuck it. So now I know where Puma Rooftop is.
And they wear
Okay.
Converse.
Is this the same mall
right.
where they did the massive In-N-Out? Is that the same mall?
I don't know.
The biggest In-N-Out ever.
That I don't know.
But that's
Seems like something
Yeah.
they might
Really?
be doing there.
Right.
That wouldn't surprise
That would make
me.
a lot of sense.
yeah, but I think it's one of those. It's not that developing opposite Waldorf, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
Opposite
No, they're
Waldorf,
doing
right.
And
Cool.
Rooftop as well. Rooftop in and out.
Everybody loves the
Rooftop in and out.
Yeah.
How about just the in and out?
A bit of the old in, out, as they would say in A
That's
Clockwork
right.
Little
Orange.
Chevy Chase and Fletch.
Following night, the 15th anniversary party for Nacho Daddy. Saw my
Wow.
man Andrew there at that one.
That was fun.
Downtown location. It's not actually their original downtown spot. They moved next
Yep.
door. The original downtown spot is a tiki bar right now. It's called Glitter Gulch Tiki Bar. I also went over there and dropped in. Sue did a scorpion shot. I got to convince her to do a scorpion
Nice.
shot. So that was
I did
good.
one of those
Good.
for my birthday years ago.
Yeah, I've
So
done those
once
as
is enough.
well. Yeah. So
I mean, if you have hot sauce and it comes hot out the backside of you, imagine what you do when you have a scorpion. Like, what happens there?
take a little sting, baby. A little sting.
You like the way I take this conversation?
Yeah.
You know.
Hey.
It's all about the asshole.
I spoke to one of the founders, not an asshole,
Not an asshole.
Glynn, and we started off talking about how he felt about celebrating 15 years.
It feels great. It was a lot of work. Things, don't always go like you plan, but things are great. Yeah.
Can you talk a bit about, because this started in Henderson and then it's expanded and it is now kind of home-based right here in downtown Las Vegas?
Yes. We started in Henderson, as you said. Our second location was here downtown. We opened up actually next door originally in a smaller space, and a year ago we opened up this location.
So what is it that makes Nacho Daddy great?
Nacho Daddy is great. It's a great experience. We're heavily focused. We come up with nachos. We get suggestions. We have a chef who very creative, and they're not your typical nachos. Everything we do is made in-house. We don't have freezers. We have a commissary. Everything's made daily and sent to the stores, so everything's fresh.
I recorded Andrew Harris's KLAA-AM Anaheim radio show, the SoCal Restaurant Show, over at the top of the Rio this week up
Okay.
at High Stakes. So I went and got Egg Slut.
Oh,
afterwards.
yeah.
Did you guys know they've opened an Egg Slut
I did
over
see
there?
that. Yeah.
Oh.
So that's awesome. Egg Slut's great. So
Yep.
there's a new one at Rio. Then, man, I love it when I get invited to people's houses. I mean, it really, I feel very, very special. And Zach Allen and his beautiful wife, they invited me, Tanya, they invited me over to their Feast of the Seven Fishes, which was
Cool.
all sorts of chefs cooking, right? So Nicole Brisson was cooking over there. Christina Wynn was over there. Kinson Lau was over there making
Nice.
cocktails. Giuseppe Conte from Greco and Sons was there.
Yep.
Just all these people that we all know.
Yep.
And lots of kids running around, which is not normally something I do around the holidays. So I just wanted to thank those guys for inviting me into
That's
their
cool.
lives.
That's cool.
It was really excellent. I had Ellie Parker's Pizza pop up. That was fucking great.
Oh, hold on there, Sparky. It's your faithful engineer from Seattle throwing in a little bit of Ellie Parker. As Al mentioned, he actually talked to her at that pop-up, and here she is talking about what she was making.
I'm making two badass pies.
Tell me about the badass pies.
So one of them is our MSP pie for Main Street Provisions. So it's going to be a chimichurri with our braised short rib, pickled red onion, and micro radish on top. And the other one is my specialty. It's a fire and ice. So it's a marinara with my homemade fennel pork sausage, my lemon whipped ricotta, shaved fennel, and Calabrian chili hot honey.
Okay, that sounds amazing. I can't wait to try them. We're going to get one of each. But I should say, people can't see this because I'm audio only, but you have decorated yourself like a Christmas tree today.
You know, the sand dollar looks like Christmas threw up on it, so I wanted to emulate that myself. So yes, I have my glittery eyeliner and my gingerbread earrings, and we love Christmas time.
And you got a little piece of holly in the side of your eye there.
Little mistletoe, so, if someone's lucky,
That is me and my Christmas spirit given back to the podcast. Back to you guys.
I had lunch at Blue Ribbon Sushi. That was fucking
Yeah.
great. That's it for good happy hour, by the way. Blue Ribbon Sushi.
I
A
got
lot
it.
of
Yeah,
events for
absolutely.
$9.
And Blue Ribbon has the sushi, Blue Ribbon Sushi at Red Rock,
Yep.
and then also in Henderson.
Yeah.
Slightly different happy hours, but both awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
So that's it for me. Coming up, a happy hour report and the news. But first, Christian and all three of us are going to talk caviar right after the break. This is Food and Loathing. And as promised, Christian Sandefeldt, who has been sitting here with us wonderfully and sharing his thoughts, but now we're going to pick his brain on caviar. We're here at Bjork Caviar, Bjork Nordic Caviar, according to what I'm looking at. First question, is Bjork an investor in the company?
No, I've never heard that question before. Absolutely the first one. By surprise, no.
Good, because she depresses the fuck out of me, man. If you ever want to be bummed out and want to like become suicidal for no reason,
Lord.
just watch Dancer in the Dark with Bjork.
Oh,
it will
God.
make you want to kill yourself.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, don't do that, please. We like.
But so caviar right here on Main Street in the Arts District. It says Nordic Caviar. What does that mean, sir? Nordic Caviar.
It's a long story around the Bjork and the Nordic. Basically, I came here to work for a Finnish caviar farm back in 2016. And due to various circumstances, they pulled out in 2018. But by then, lots of people here in Vegas knew me as the guy from the Finnish company, and our whole ethos was around the clean waters of the Nordic countries and so on. So, and since I'm also born in Sweden, I thought I need to keep that connection somehow. So I thought that was a good name. It's not much more than that, really. And the Nordic was added. That's actually slowly being phased out to say Bjork Las Vegas now.
Oh, okay.
Some of the new bags and stuff. And so.
But we're not sourcing it from Vegas. Just making sure.
Don't like hate soup.
Meat's fine. The sturgeon, they come up and up. Those are carbs. Sorry.
I'd love to source caviar from Vegas if you would farm caviar down on the Colorado River south of the dam. That would be an amazing place to farm.
Cool.
Yes.
All right.
Because it's so cold.
Right.
You need the cold water at the end for the purging period. That would be fantastic because it's ice cold down there.
Okay. Well, let's.
I like this.
Who's
Yeah.
in charge of that?
Anyone listening who wants to start a caviar farm, I'm here.
All right.
The people.
So, does your company actually farm its own caviar?
No, we don't.
Okay.
When I worked for the Finnish company, that we farmed our own. But now I'm getting it from similar farms around the world. I tend to stick to small, interesting farms, as you probably know. I mean, the majority of caviar in the U.S. is from China now, and there's nothing wrong with that. In the same way, there's nothing wrong shopping your groceries at Kroger, but if you want to put it on a menu, it might not be the most interesting stuff to put on a menu.
Right.
I prefer to stick to smaller farms where I can go, or we can go, and talk to the people who run the farm and have some influence on how they produce it, and also that gives us a story to tell the restaurants and our customers.
Right.
That's more interesting instead of saying it's from somewhere there.
Yeah, absolutely. People like to hear the backstory, right?
Yeah.
And nowadays, something that I had read, and I believe, because when I first walked in today, we sort of reintroduced each other. We have met a while ago.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I'm curious about on the website, it talks about sustainable.
Yeah.
I know just enough about how caviar comes to be that I don't understand what sustainable means when it comes to caviar. Because I know that's a big part of how you want to run things.
It's just, people think that farm caviar, because everything is now farmed, there's nothing left in the Caspian Sea.
Right.
They think that just because they farm it, then it's sustainable. And it's not really, if you're going to be really strict, and it depends on which country you're in, how you look at sustainability. When we became certified sustainable in Finland, that it was a process of months.
Yeah.
It's all down to even how the employees get to work.
Really?
Are they encouraged to use public transportation? Are they using their own cars to see how far you're willing to go becoming a sustainable business? That is a little bit extreme, I agree, but the main things I think is how the farm affects the environment around it.
Okay.
Right. And I think a lot of people don't realize, I never realized this until I became friends with Rick Moonen like 20 years ago. I always assumed like a farm, a fish farm of any form, caviar farm, whatever, was like just this really big fucking room and they had like, tanks in it and like, oh, you're on a farm. It's not affecting the environment. Then I realized that most fish farms are in wild waters.
Yeah.
And they're these huge nets that give the fish an area. And in many things like salmon, which farm-raised salmon, they're doing it in the middle of the ocean. They only put the nets so far down. The fish shit. The fish get stuff thrown on them. It all drifts down to the bottom, and everything that's living underneath these farms can get just destroyed by everything in the farming. So to me, that's the fear. Is that what you're talking about when
That's
you're saying the way?
Yeah.
exactly what I'm talking about. It's and like I mean, yet again going back to the Finnish farm, Finland, where that farm was, is basically it's a gigantic lake. You can take a boat from the north through the whole country, through either rivers, lakes, and everything. Something wrong gets into one little area, like let's say we did something wrong in that farm, potentially the whole ecosystem in the whole country could just
My God.
collapse.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can even get like the fish that are in that section, and if a few of them jump out, now they're suddenly reproducing with the yeah, it's really tough to make sure
Yeah.
that you're not fucking up the lake while you're
Yeah.
growing fish in.
Yeah.
And especially, I dedicated most of my time in the UK when I had restaurants there to sustainable fishing methods. And like, for instance, the problem then was dredging, which is still a huge issue, and also like the way they farmed in Norwegian. I mean, Norwegian salmon has always been the biggest selling salmon product.
Yeah.
But I mean, the farming methods were now, luckily, they've had to change. Instead, they moved the stuff over to another country, to where we are now. But it's now it's better. Now you get, I mean, up in the Faroe Islands around there, they really know how to farm fish.
Yeah.
It's done really, really well, and you see the product is so much better as well.
So when you talk about going to smaller farms and producers to bring stuff in, like currently I'm looking at a relief on the wall that shows like different tins and different types of caviar. What about them specifically? Is it just the product itself that's good? Do you look into the company? I mean, we definitely want to talk about the foodie stuff, but now I'm just really curious how that works for you when you're choosing those smaller producers to bring stuff here to Vegas.
I think it's really important to go to the place and to see how they operate, to see just what they do, how they act. I mean, are they proud of what they're doing? Is everyone there sort of involved? Are they passionate about it? The typical example is this in Belgium. I mean, they are so passionate about what they do. Everyone there, you can just sit down and talk about caviar and how they do it. And that is a good sign. And obviously to see how they farm it so they're not sort of polluting other areas.
Yeah.
That is also about, a lot has to do with temperature now. The Spanish farm that we're dealing with, they're in northwest of Valencia. In the summer, you get similar temperatures there as you do here, and how they've adapted to it by using, in this case, covering the pools with solar panels that generate a battery that then sort of runs the cooling system. And so that kind of stuff is really, really important.
Cool.
Because you know that you can get a consistent product through the year.
Yeah.
You might get a sample from one particular farm, and it's great because you get it in January,
Right.
but then they have no cooling system. So when you commit it to them and you get something in June, suddenly you get a sticky mush.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're doing kind of what we're doing here with restaurants. It's
Seeking out the best?
and like talking to
Yeah.
people who are absolutely passionate about everything they do in the kitchen and actually in the whole restaurant. From where they source the food and whatever it is.
And it's the same with all the people that we work with. We all come from a restaurant or sort of hospitality background because we know that then at least, then we're passionate about what we're doing, and that's something that we want to give to our customers. Right.
So for those who may not know how caviar gets to us, outside of knowing that I can get it in a tin, pop it open, and I'm happy, how is caviar produced for somebody listening who may not understand?
So, like we said, nowadays everything is farmed because it's all gone from the Caspian Sea. I would argue
And let's define our terms first, okay?
Yeah.
Because caviar gets thrown around,
Yeah.
especially
Oh, that's
people that
good,
want to say
yes.
we've
Very
got
good.
salmon
Good point.
caviar.
Yep.
We have
Nope.
this.
No.
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 Caviar has to be from sturgeon.
I
correct?
appreciate this. Yes, let's
Caviar.
clarify that.
Caviar is salted sturgeon eggs. That's the correct definition of caviar. No such thing as trout caviar, salmon caviar, God knows what.
Right.
It's sturgeon eggs. But we have a number of sturgeon. I think we're down to about 30, 40 species around the world, which used to be 80.
Wow.
And out of those, we're probably using about 6 or 7 for caviar production.
And there are some new species that, as I understand it, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember years ago there being something like Kaluga. I feel like that was almost a hybrid that was created in order to, when there was a ban on importing certain breeds, right?
Yeah, because the U.S. Fish and Wildlife have been excellent. I would say they're probably leading in the world to protect endangered species. So beluga very quickly got banned in the U.S. Then importers turned their eye on Kaluga, not because there's any similarity apart from that both names end with Uga. There's nothing. And that also got very quickly overfished. So by that time, the Chinese had realized that this is quite a good business. So, and they wanted to continue doing business. So they decided to make a hybrid. So they crossed a Kaluga with a Shrinky, which cannot be banned because a hybrid doesn't exist.
Right. So a hybrid.
I hadn't thought about that.
No,
Yeah.
It's not a
But what they did actually, they were circumventing import laws, but what they did, they actually created a better, I think, better than the original Kaluga. And that's what's become, and that's why it's become sort of the go-to caviar in the US. It's for that reason it's made for the US market. The eggs are big, lots of oil, low salinity, but it's also a really good caviar to use for kitchens. It's robust, and it's sort of a good entry level. So that's why it's become so popular.
Can you do me a favor and explain, not everything, obviously, because like I said, again, I'm looking at this artwork up there, and there's so many things. There's 8 different tins already that I can see. Can you give us just a little bit of an example of what is still caviar, but is different enough in taste, texture, color? Like, if somebody said, I don't know anything about caviar, what am I going to like? How do I find out I like it? How would you describe to somebody how to choose? Please, Anne.
And along those lines, could you address the things I mentioned earlier in the show, which is hackleback and paddlefish, which I see on a lot of menus, and I will never eat paddlefish again. And I've had a couple hacklebacks that weren't bad, but I'm not a big fan of those either.
Well, the problem with that is is that they're wild, and they're perfectly legal to fish in the US. They are mainly down from around the Mississippi River and around that area.
Interesting. Okay.
And the waters are, I shouldn't say muddy, but since it's wild, the people who fish it, they fish it wild, and they don't necessarily have purification tanks where they basically, where they purge the fish for like a month. They take them and they harvest it.
Right.
In caviar, you actually, when you produce caviar farmed, you put them in purging tanks for 6 to 8 weeks. Where
even when the farm itself is out in the wild, you take the fish and you purge them in an indoor tank, you're saying?
You do that,
In a bit of a quarantine, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
And they're different. If you chill it, you get them quite a bit firmer egg, and since they don't get fed for the last bit there, you get a cleaner flavor out of the eggs.
Okay.
When they've been feeding in the Mississippi River on various things, it's not necessarily going to create the freshest and nicest taste. But there are examples. There was, in Oklahoma, they had U.S. Fish and Wildlife had a project a few years ago where they basically had a facility where they harvested the roe from paddlefish. So anyone who fished paddlefish could bring it there, and they even got paid for it. But in the end, it just got too expensive to do. But that was fantastic. It was great.
I would love to see something like that. I mean,
Oklahoma
somebody who spends
caviar?
half my time in Oklahoma, exactly. I was like, I'm going to have to go find this place, but it doesn't sound like it exists anymore.
No, they had to close it down.
Yeah, because the education part of that would be really interesting, I think. Yeah.
So as you talk about the water and how you want to purify the water and doing all this, the first thing that comes to mind with me is oysters, which takes so much of their flavor from the water that they're in.
Yeah.
Does caviar have that much? Is it anywhere near that level of reflection of the waters in the taste of the product?
Not so much as in oysters, I would say, but very similar to it, because it's basically the flavor you get in the caviar is more from, the type of fish, the type of sturgeon, and what it eats. And that's and the water that it's in. Yeah. The firmness and the consistency of the eggs is more to do with temperature and, again, the type of sturgeon.
Okay.
So, and obviously the size. So a Kaluga hybrid is a very big sturgeon. It produces a large egg. Consequently, it has a thick membrane, so it's firmer.
So when people are looking around and they're trying to shop, and if I bungle this question, please correct me on anything. What could you explain to people? What is the difference between like Osetra? And is Osetra the same thing as Osietra? Because they love spell it 14 different ways to spell it. And I admit, I love my caviar and I still get confused.
No, Osetra is the same. It's also called Russian sturgeon.
Okay.
Which has been confusing because some people use that and they assume that now getting Russian caviar. It's not. It's the type of sturgeon.
Aha.
Latin name Asapensa goldensteti. to be really geeky.
I love it.
Yes.
My next tattoo.
He's showing off here now.
With the Osetra, when I see golden Osetra, royal Osetra, are those different breeds or are those different grades of the eggs?
That's the golden and imperial that's meant to be grades. The problem is, it's now with the farming going on, and so many importers, I wouldn't really care a bit about what it says on that, because first of all, that none of these names are protected. There's guys down in Florida that sell caviar, and they call, for instance, one guy is selling Siberian Osetra. It's like selling, lamb, beef tenderloin.
Right.
But that's a good point, because I do eat my fair and probably other people's fair share of caviar, and
Right, we eat more caviar than anyone in the world should fucking eat.
and
man.
but that's a good point, because when you don't know what to look for on the label, making people understand that just because it says Russian or whatever, that could be a type of something. It's not necessarily from. How do you kind of separate the wheat from the chaff on that? How do you make sure that the average consumer knows how to read a label?
It's really difficult, because also probably half of the importers don't even put the label on that actually shows what it is. There is a specific code, which is called the CITES code, which I insist on the people I work closely with in New York and in LA. There's some of us that really want to tidy up this slightly shady business.
Because I don't remember the entire acronym, but CITES is basically a registration and an organization that looks out to make sure that you're not over farming, you're not going to kill a species, you're not. They protect certain things.
Yeah, they protect endangered species. So any kind of endangered species that you want to move across the border has to have a CITES permit. Even if you inherited an ivory thing,
right?
If you want to take that somewhere else, another country, you need to have your little permit. I got.
That's how I learned about the term. I watch those border shows.
Yeah.
When people are bringing stuff from different places.
Exactly. And even though it's farmed,
it's
still an endangered species. So every time that we move caviar from another country to us, we have to have this legal document called a CITES permit. And there is a specific code there, which everyone should put on there, because then you know exactly what you're getting. You can see which species it is. You can see what country it's from. You can see which farm.
How hard is it to look up, find that code and look it up and make sure and do your own verification? Is it a serious project? Or?
You should insist that whoever's you're buying the caviar from puts that on. You can ask them why are you not doing that.
Okay.
And half of them would go, what?
And those are the people.
There's actually a really interesting app called Food Pairing, and it's out of Belgium.
Okay.
And these guys are doing exactly that. So they're getting to a point where you can scan the barcode at the grocery store, and it'll tell you where it's from, if it's far, other stuff. It's really interesting.
Okay.
Stuff. So they're building it up, but I've been
good.
following them for a while.
Because it needs that.
Yeah.
So
sounds like it.
Can we talk about how the different varieties that you offer right here at Bjork, how they are different from each other and how that affects price point, and somebody who wants to have a little party on New Year's Eve, what they should be eyeing?
Yeah. So, I mean, if we start with, we do have a Chinese Kaluga hybrid, and I think that's, as Kaluga hybrids go, it's really good. It's got a little bit more salinity than normal. That's sort of on the one end of the spectrum. Good entry level. Anyone who listens to this and wants to come in and try caviar for the first time, I would say go for that. Okay. That's the best way to start. Then we have sort of the ones in the middle. The one that I think is the best in the country is the Belgian Osetra that we got.
Okay.
I think it's just phenomenal. We developed that with them to resemble old-style Caspian Sea caviar. Nice grey, translucent eggs. A little bit more salinity than the Kaluga hybrid, but I think it's absolutely amazing. And at the moment, it's at its best. We also have, from that same farm, we have, moving a little bit sort of more full flavored, we have what we call Siberian Deluxe, which is the only hybrid from Europe, but it's a hybrid between an Osetra and a male Siberian sturgeon. Then we get into the Siberian sturgeon, and they're getting quite interesting. And I think that's, surprisingly enough, we find that the younger crowd prefers that. I thought that they would go for something milder because they might not have had that much caviar, but they go for that. We have the Spanish one is just stunning. It's like it's got it's got Parmesan cheese, like Iberico ham, bit of like burnt sugar. It's just really, really packs of flavor.
And these,
Amazing.
by the way, you got to be the kind of person who sips whiskey and finds the little flavors.
Absolutely.
Sips wine and finds the little flavors in it, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you've got to be a real connoisseur to be picking those things up.
Yeah, well, no, I don't.
No?
Think, no,
Okay.
not too much. I mean, we find maybe when we do tastings, might help them along a bit. So what do you get in there? Do you get any umami? And then go, yeah, but what is that umami? And they go, cheese. Any particular cheese? And then they get to the Partage and they get so.
Okay.
It's not. It's Caviar in that sense. It's not as complicated, I think, as wine. I don't think it might have as much taste notes as certain wines or like a cognac or something. I think
Right.
they're easier to distinguish, I think.
You just touched on this. The audience, who is consuming caviar these days? Is it, you get this nostalgia kind of thing of it's like champagne and caviar.
In Las
The elite
Vegas,
is-
every fucking party.
I was gonna say.
Who's eating caviar? Like, what's that age group? What's that demo?
There is no age group.
No,
I
huh?
can tell you there is no age group now. Like last year, we had, I promise you, the days before New Year's Eve, we had, I think the average age coming through that door was probably around 23.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, you got kids coming in on skateboards, sitting down. We literally had two guys coming in on skateboards, sat down and asked about caviar, and can we do a tasting? And the tasting starts at $100,
Yeah.
$99. And they left 2 hours later having spent $700 on
Yeah.
tastings and
Yeah.
caviar. Which is
Seems like
So you
people
can
I would
come
like to
in
know.
here, even though
Because I would do that.
I've got my skateboard, but I don't have $700 for caviar.
So you could come in here and actually sit at this bar area and do a tasting, or sitting at this table that we're at right now, overlooking beautiful Main Street,
I
and
love it.
actually
cool.
consume it here and have somebody educated walk you through it.
Yep, definitely. You can more or less walk in to do the standard tasting where we just go through the caviars that we have at the moment. It would be good if we get half an hour's call before. We do have another one where we do food pairings, and that we need a few days.
Okay.
Done.
So that brings me to a question I wanted to ask you. What are some of your favorite caviar and food pairings?
For me, it's just really good, creamy scrambled egg.
Yes.
Creamy,
okay.
sort of European style with
That really soft scramble. Yeah.
slow scrambled with just caviar and maybe some greens on that. But
I'm in.
Anybody remember the caviar omelet over at it's the place that's now an American Express Lounge
Oh,
in
good Lord.
Aria. Place that used to be, anyway, it was a Tao group thing, and they did
Yeah.
this omelet with a huge chunk of caviar.
Love it.
A mountain, and it was really good.
yeah, it had some kind of cream sauce with it, wasn't it, as well? Sort of caviar. It was, wasn't it? Almost like
No, the one I'm thinking of was just like a nice little pile right on
Yeah.
top of this just gorgeous
Yeah.
omelet, and I think maybe a potato chip.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a homemade potato chip, just unsalted because you have the salt and
Right.
caviar, but that's also really good. But they're really thin, unsalted.
How do you feel when people, and because I've done this, and it depends on what kind of, like the texture and the salinity of the caviar. But so I've done tasting spoons where you put a little creme fraiche on the bottom, and then you put the caviar, and then you have like some egg yolk and some shallots and things like that. Is that is that overdone? Is that taking too much away from the
I
caviar,
think the
or
traditional, with the creme fraiche, yes. Egg, yeah, if you have to. But when you get into the shallots and the capers and that I think is back in the old days. When caviar came from the Caspian Sea, we were looking at 3.7% salt because they had to, sometimes travel without refrigeration, so that was to preserve it. Plus, it's taken a while, so they started to mature. If you go back to those caviars, they were really pungent. They packed a punch. It's not like
so they could hold up to it? Where nowadays,
Yeah.
okay,
So if you were having
Spanish would.
if you're doing New Year's Eve party, a small group of friends, how much and you just wanted everybody maybe to have a little bit of caviar. You want to prove that you're fancy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like I love doing this shit. When I used to live in New York City, man, we would have the most bizarre parties. We'd be like
Absolutely.
flat broke, but we'd buy the most expensive shit, right? It was just fun. So. How would you recommend? You just put the tin out with some mother of pearl spoons? Do you dip it in there? How would you put it out?
Yeah, I would do that. I'd just, and maybe have, like I said, some potato chips on the side. Then the question is always, how much per person? And it's just, how generous do you want to
Yeah.
be?
Yeah.
But I think,
it wouldn't be the first time I've sat there with a glass of wine and a tin of caviar,
but I
just eating.
I think if you had a group of friends and you put out more than an ounce or 30 grams per head, I think then you're going a little bit yeah, but maybe too much.
Like I sent my parents something. Presumably they're going to have some people over for New
Sure.
Year's Eve, right? And I think it was 4 different types of caviar, maybe like
Fun.
30 grams a piece, and then mother of pearl spoons and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, hopefully that'll be enough for them to like have some people over and really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And we're talking about food pairing, but you just wine. Is there a good drink pairing? I mean,
Yes,
obviously champagne.
vodka.
Yeah, it always
Got you
vodka or
to drink.
champagne.
I'd say number 1 vodka, number 2 vodka, number 3 vodka.
Okay, the Russian water.
I like
gotcha.
it.
I once did a caviar tasting at Andre's in the Monte Carlo by
Okay,
Chef
yeah.
Gary Lamort. And Chef Andre insisted that he send us a different bottle of vodka with every of the 12 courses.
Absolutely.
So there you
So
go. Okay.
literally, the bottle just arrived, and we could
That's
pour ourselves.
awesome.
Right? So it's me and Jim Bagley.
Yep.
Just fucking
Oh, I love
getting
Jim.
Pounded on so much vodka as we did our 12-course caviar tasting.
I can say one vodka which is really good, which is Las Vegas Distillery. Have you tried that vodka?
Oh yeah, I have some.
That is so good with the Ossetra that we have. It's so,
Okay.
because it's got a little bit more bite to it. I think with caviar, vodka should not necessarily go for those really sort of triple distilled sort of Grey Gooses and that kind
Right.
of stuff. They need something more with it.
Something like the old Russian
Yeah,
soldiers
exactly.
Yeah.
were drinking while they had it, right? Yeah, something badass. What I had always heard was the reason you use a mother of pearl spoon is because the minute you use stainless steel or something like that in the tin, it starts to oxidize. I don't know if there's any truth to that. What I was also told, 2 other things as a result of that. Number 1, if you're going to eat it all in one day, it doesn't really fucking matter that much. And number 2, plastic spoons are just as good as mother of pearl. And every time I've been in a restaurant kitchen,
Yep.
they use plastic
Yep.
spoons as they're tasting.
Yeah.
So how much of what I said is bullshit and how much of what I said is true?
The first there's a tiny element of bullshit in that because nothing's going to happen if you have a tin out for 5 minutes and you put a stainless steel spoon in there. There's not much oxidation going on there. But if you do it over a longer period, yeah. And you're absolutely right. Plastic spoons, wooden spoons, whatever works just as good as mother of pearl.
Opening the tin, you need something. You need either a caviar
Key.
key
Yeah.
or you know how to really work a coin, correct?
Yeah, a big coin, caviar key, or if you got a really big kitchen spoon, so you get some leverage.
Yep.
They're sometimes quite.
Yeah. And notice
nothing.
nobody mentioned knives, people.
Yes.
No,
Do not try and open
no.
a can of caviar with the nose of a knife. I will hurt you myself.
Interesting.
And if you don't hurt yourself in the process.
Yeah, they will.
my last question for time purposes, I have to pay mad tribute to my late friend Robin Leach. Champagne Wishes and Caviar Dreams. How good of an accompaniment for caviar do you believe champagne or other bubbly, other sparkling wines are, and do you have a recommendation?
I don't have I have a recommendation actually. If you buy the caviar from us, go to Garagist because Eric there, he knows our caviars and he has the pairings. I don't drink wine myself, but I'd say that it's a great pairing because it's still, it's caviar should be for celebration. It's a luxury item. It's good to pair it with something that feels luxurious, but be careful because not just because it's champagne, it doesn't mean that it works with caviar.
I think the bubbles is what everybody assumes, right?
Right.
We like to pop the eggs against the top of our roof of our mouth, and we like those bubbles coming up from the champagne.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's as much the taste. I think it's the luxury, but
Yeah.
God bless you,
Combination,
Robin,
yeah.
man. We miss you, and we're going to leave it at that. Dude, thank you so fucking much, man.
Thank
Not
you
only
so
hosting us, but teaching us.
Not at all.
I've learned so much today.
I really
More-
have, yeah.
This is
Really
great. Thank
quickly,
you.
what are your hours and your address just for people?
And what's the most entry-level tin of caviar you
yeah,
sell?
let's do that.
So address is 1408 South Main in the Arts District. And we're open weekdays 9 to 4 and Saturdays from 10 to 1. And the most entry level, are we talking price-wise?
Yeah,
We're just
price-wise.
talking
Yeah, let's talk
price-wise.
price-wise.
Wait, 'cause when
it's
somebody's trying it out for the
it's
first time-
definitely- Well, for trying it the first time, it's going to be our Select, which is the Kaluga Hybrid. That's not necessarily the cheapest. The cheapest is actually the Spanish one I talked to you about.
Okay.
Which is the cheapest, and it's probably the most value for money, I would say.
Okay, and what are the prices on this?
So
And
they-
does that change during the year also? Then I keep having new things.
I know, because he said something about this time of year, and all of a sudden I went, seasonality.
we managed to keep the prices despite tariffs and all that shit. So they start at 70 and
Okay.
And that's
up to
30
about-
grams usually?
Yeah,
Yep.
and up to 85.
Well, it's like you said, you have a tasting for $100. It starts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
That
great.
sounds like a great deal. And speaking of, do you have a liquor license? Can you sell booze?
Not yet. We waited to get a liquor.
Ooh, I like the word yet.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. But in the meantime, could you go to Garage East just down
Yeah.
the street and grab and bring some here?
Yeah.
We have a tasting.
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds like a party.
Okay, so we're going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for
Thank
your
you, guys.
time. Coming up, we've got Andrew's pre-recorded happy hour report. We got a little bit of news, and we're going to get the hell out of here and let you get on to your celebrating. This is Food and Loathing.
Need a restaurant recommendation? Then you need Neon Feast, the most convenient, most comprehensive, and most trustworthy collection of Las Vegas restaurant recommendations on the internet. Veteran food journalist Al Mancini, whom you might remember from, listening to this podcast, asked the city's top chefs, restaurateurs, critics, journalists, and influencers for their favorite spots in more than 100 categories. Why take the advice of an anonymous online wannabe or a paid influencer? Neon Feast will tell you where people in the industry send their family and friends for a great date night, to watch a big game, or get a taste of Old Vegas. Looking for a great steakhouse? You want a great burger? Maybe a little caviar? Need a place in Summerlin South, the Arts District, or Seven Hills? Las Vegas brings the neon. Local foodies provide the feast at neonfeast.com or the Neon Feast mobile app.
Ho, ho, ho. It is the most wonderful time of the year, but for many of us, it is also the most stressful time of the year because, oh my God, we got to talk to all those people that we only talk to once a year. Luckily, there's booze, and there's a lot of it out there. And if you want it at a bargain and you want to have some great food with it at a bargain, there's no better person to talk to than Happy Hour Vegas's Andrew Morgan. He's back here for his weekly report. Andrew, how the fuck are you, and how are you holding up this holiday season?
So far, so good, man. I appreciate that one. Yeah, things are good. And I'm happy to know that I'm associated with booze.
It's booze or boobs. Those are either way would be good things to be associated
Well,
with.
you know, there you go. I got a tattoo of boobs and tattoo of booze on both arms, so it works.
I know we're coming down to the end of the year, but there's a lot of new stuff still happening. And it really happens a lot. Everybody wants to be open in time for New Year's Eve, I think, because they think they can make a ton of money. So things are popping up, and I know you've been to some new places and you have some exciting new things to talk about. So what are we talking about today?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. This week has been pretty hectic. You know that. And seeing some other familiar faces at these events. Everything from like Barbie to like, at Area 15 to Butcher and Thief at the Bend, Southwest. And really, that's kind of what I'm looking at today. I got really excited about the fact that the Bend, which is kind of a big glorified shopping mall, in the Southwest, has some pretty good happy hour hotspots. So.
Well, that's cool. You mentioned Butcher and Thief. I did not make it to their opening night party. I did go in for some food, and we're going to talk all about that actually in other parts of this show. But tell me what you thought about Butcher and Thief, and then we'll get into the happy hours.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's really well done. It's that upscale steakhouse vibe, but much more accessible in the Southwest kind of neighborhood. So really clean, really nice, huge space, outdoor space and whatever it is, great bar. And of course, the kitchen. I mean, the food is fantastic there. They had, I was there for that opening, and so it wasn't an official sit-down kind of thing, but yeah, it's just what they were serving and putting out there, from the mac and cheese to the cotton candy, which that's pretty cool, man.
Very cool. Yeah, I went in. They threw out some food for me. I was on my way to, a VGK game. No, I was on my way to something that night. Yeah. And anyway, the food they gave me was great. We'll talk about it elsewhere in this show. Yeah. They also had a nice mocktail. So on the beverage side, I want to point out they've got 2 or 3 mocktails on the list, and they are done very seriously. They take them legit.
Totally. They had a great mocktail list when I was there. I just had a couple beers, which is kind of nice, and some maps, and enjoying the vibe. But I do know they don't officially have a happy hour yet, but I was told, little birdie told me, come January, they're going to have that happy hour. So we'll be able to make sure we'll report on that when it comes.
Okay, so no happy hour at Butcher and Thief yet, but if I'm down at the Bend, does anybody have a happy hour?
Oh yeah, it's a happy hour hotspot now. It's there's a few places. So went also earlier this week to a new place called St. Felix Sin City, and they have a great happy hour there. So if you don't know St. Felix, it's out of Hollywood, out of LA, and kind of a nightclubby, loungy kind of vibe to it, but very accessible. Really good kitchen, good food, good vibe. Like really enjoyed myself there.
Is this like a beautiful young people looking to get laid kind of joint?
Yeah, totally. Absolutely.
Oh, I miss this.
Oh, yeah. No, it was good. But you know what? It's also great because they have, like, first of all, the happy hour is 5 to 8 every day. So, and it's like $10 drinks, cocktails and stuff like that, and great bites. So right off the bat, you're winning with happy hour. The actual vibe is really cool. It's kind of like this loungy kind of cool thing, but it's got an 80s vibe to it. The owner, one of the owners anyways, John, super nice guy, bass player, you know, just was on tour and what have you. And so now this is his shop, and he's doing it right, man. I really like it there.
Okay, so John, first of all, it sounds great. It sounds like it's completely not for me, and that's fine. But and I poke my head in, I look at it, I see the big overstuffed selfie chair, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be really great for young, beautiful people looking to get laid, right? So makes me happy. And when you say it's 80s vibed, then it clearly has to be for people that are too young to remember how much the 80s really sucked.
Yeah, totally. And you know, they're also looking at the young, hipper people in and around there. And remember, like Basilico, which is right up the street at Evora, the condo complex. That's kind of got that same audience, the same vibe. You know, young, hip, better looking than we are.
Yeah.
You know, and like to stay out till 2 to 4 in the morning. Like, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. Like, hospitality people, they're beautiful at their job on the Strip. They come home, they want to be beautiful and get laid when they get off the Strip. Or really just get a nice, well-priced drink and have something cool going on. Exactly. I was curious that you said that John was a musician because, of course, right across from St. Felix, we have Evolve Brewing, and that's owned by Kerry Kelly, who's also a musician.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if they're putting a band back together, the band band, you know, but like, and if they need a drummer, I'm right here.
And maybe they can get, Frank from Hard Hat to come down and do something.
Oh, that's now it's all coming together nicely.
Yes.
Evolve's got a really good happy hour too, right? And Evolve is by the same guys who have like Aces and Ales, I think. Is that what it is?
Yeah, Kerry Kelly, great guitarist, played with Alice Cooper for years and years and years. He's been out as Night Rangers touring guitarist for several years now, so, he could still rock in America and shit like that. And he's a really cool cat. He started Aces and Ales, which was the original one, way the fuck back over behind Boulder Highway, kind of. And it was really one of the very first craft beer bars in Las Vegas. Of course, he's expanded all of that, but now they have the brewery, which is Evolve, and it has actually a pretty good kitchen in there as well.
Yep, and a decent happy hour, too. So just short menu and a few bites and whatever it is. But, I just like the vibe there, too. And, again, being in the Bend, you've got this all open patio, the foosball table and whatever it is. So watching the game, having a couple beers, some good food, people watching. And if you want, head over to St. Felix right after. It's literally kitty corner across the hallway there. Their happy hour ends at 8 o'clock. So you got a little extend.
So, okay, what are the times on the two of those?
Oh, yeah. So St. Felix is every day 5 to 8 p.m. So it goes a little later. And Evolve is 3 to 6 p.m.
Holy shit. So 3 to 8 p.m. you could be happy houring at the Bend.
That's like more than a happy hour. It's happy hours, right? So
I mean, that's like happy work day.
it's all day happy hour, right? Let's see what Butcher and Thief comes up with, and it could be a all-day event.
That sounds great, man. Favorite item from either of them that you want to plug, or you want people to explore on their own?
Definitely explore, but St. Felix has these sliders, and I couldn't even tell you. I posted it on Happy Hour Vegas. I have some pictures and a little description and stuff like that. But they've got these dipping sauces that's kind of like half spice, half like aioli, whatever it is. It was freaking amazing. And of course, the chick serving them in a short skirt was pretty fun too.
Never anything wrong with that. Yes, we're old men and we're allowed to still think that way.
Oh, yeah.
God damn it. But respectfully, I should say. Respectfully, we think that way as old men. Anyway, thank you, sir. Thanks for telling us where to get drunk, where to eat while we do it. And you're going to be back next week for us, right? Which will be our first episode of the new year.
Yeah, I'm here next week. And in the meantime, happy holiday, guys, and much love, brother.
Okay, I now want to check out the Barbie Bar. That is awesome. Is it a bar? Is it a restaurant? What did I miss?
It's a cafe, Gemini.
Oh, God. Of course, I think it's a bar. Fuck.
They have cocktails.
Oh, okay,
mocktails,
good.
Everything.
I thought I was getting that, but I'm like, oh wait, shit, did I just mess it up? Okay, so we're good. Let's all go to the Barbie bar. I like it.
Barbie.
Yeah.
As for news, let's see what we can scrape up during this holiday season. There's always something, folks, so just keep your eyes out. This year, Excalibur has added a tiki bar. This is the first tiki bar in the MGM family. It's inspired by a legend of a dragon named Murray who sleeps beneath Excalibur's bridge. There's medieval tiki theme, a stage for live performances, and tiki drinks, of course. Those started about $18 for things like whip tie, tiki time tea, and the buzzed tiki torch, with a tiki flight for only $30, and shareable blue Hawaiian for $45. Lots of deals at the Excalibur these days, so if you're serious about saving money, stop being a snob and check it out.
Yeah, I wrote that part.
Yeah,
by
you
the way.
did,
She
which is
says
why I
she's
giggled,
way
and I
nicer
love
than
it.
me, but yeah, you fucking complaining bastard.
Oh, my gosh.
Go to the
Awesome.
inexpensive casinos. Those people deserve your tips as well.
They
Love
do.
it. Where's-
Absolutely.
So name Murray, the dragon?
The dragon has a name, yeah.
Where's Piff, the dragon? Where's he playing? Is that it?
Flamingo, I think?
Is that Flamingo?
Think it might
Okay,
be.
so different dragon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dragons, yeah.
I've seen him a few times when they used to do stuff at the Cosmo. Anyway, more news. Gastropub Nice by Chef Winston of Chiara will host a mochi pounding ceremony.
I gotta say, I got that email, and I'm like, I gotta pound my mochi.
I'm gonna
Right.
pound the mochi out of you, man.
They're going to do a ceremony on January 4th. That's on a Sunday. It runs from noon to 3. There will be, I hope I'm saying this right, taiko drummers. And the chef will teach the centuries-old art of mochitsuki, the traditional practice of pounding steamed glutinous rice in a wooden mortar. The process dates back more than 1,000 years and symbolizes strength, unity, and prosperity for the new year. After the demonstration, attendees will have the opportunity to join in the pounding alongside the culinary team.
Join in the pounding.
Group pounding. Come on down.
Here's the thing, I'm excited about it because I've watched some of those. There's a show on Netflix, they're like 17-minute vignettes about this kind of work and how far it goes back. So I do find it interesting, but I also just find their wording
Totally.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That is it for this week, man. I hope everybody has amazing holidays. You already had some by the time you're listening to this. You have more coming up in the new year. Of course, drop by Bjork Caviar, man. It's one way to make this shit better. They were kind enough to host us here today and talk to us. And, I mean, come on, man. Main Street is just so
Right?
fucking
So
cool
fucking
these
cool.
days.
Yeah.
And like you walk down,
Yeah.
you maybe go check out Yurt,
Yep.
right? You're having
Yeah.
you're doing all this cool shit, and then you go home with some caviar from here.
Absolutely.
And maybe a cremant from
There you go.
around the corner.
From
you know,
Garage
some-
East,
some
yeah.
affordable bubbles, and go home. You're gonna be the baddest ass.
Right, you're either going to be the
person
host
out
with the
there.
most, or you're just going to be the best guest ever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just need a Basque cheesecake to go.
Yes,
So
that's
anyway,
right. And
So everybody remember to read foodandloathing.vegas, where we have things like Andrew here describing the Barbie pop-up and Bob Barnes' weekly dining and entertainment news. This week he shares news on New Year's Eve celebrations at High Stakes Grapevine Cafe, Stubborn Seed, and Bala Italian Soul. His pick of the week is Brezza. He's got info on a prefix tasting at Sushi Samba and Las Vegas Distillery beginning their distribution throughout Nevada. We just heard that their vodka goes really well with
It's-
caviar.
yeah.
So keep that in mind. What else, Bob, tell you? New Year's Eve fireworks. So tune
Yeah.
in for Bob. Andrew's constantly updating happy hour listings over at happyhourvegas.com. So make sure you go over there when you're looking for a happy hour. Listen to me on Highway Vibe, Highway Country, and KNAC, which used to be called the Highway Rock, or just go to the Highway Radio website, highwayradio.com. And then very soon, I think DoorDash is going to publish my write-ups for their Las Vegas reservation service over at their blog, which is called Block Party. But of course, you do not have to wait for that, because Neon Feast has even more recommendations.
That's right.
And quite a few of them also connect to a reservation page, and that's mine. So do that. We also connect to takeout services and more.
yes.
Gemini, anything you need to tell us that you're writing about?
Oh my God, there's going to be some stuff coming up. We are also going to have a guest writer. You guys have seen her on the show, or she's been on the show recently with you, Rachel Deal.
Yeah, we love Rachel.
She's
Oh, yeah.
done a thing about a game spot in Henderson that also has really great food. So we're going to do all of that.
There you
So
go.
yeah.
Okay, and then Andrew, you and I are both writing stuff over for Las Vegas Advisor. What are you doing this month?
I'm looking at a lot of CES
You
stuff,
don't know
actually.
yet.
A
I
lot
don't
of
really
CES
know yet,
stuff,
but
yeah.
I've got CES on the brain. That's it.
Okay.
And the porn porn.
The porn
thing, you know,
convention.
on the brand.
AVN.
There you go.
There you
I gotta
go.
leave you with my final porn story. My final
Do
story.
it.
Back in the old porn days when my book was out, Eating Las Vegas, every year during the porn convention, Joanna Angel and I would get together from Burning Angel,
Yep.
which was really the first hardcore porn site to have tattooed girls and pierced
Yeah.
girls and all that stuff like back 25 years ago. So I love her. And Joanna and I used to do porn star brunch the morning
Yes.
the morning after the awards.
Love
and the menu would be designed by the ladies in her team, and they would design the cocktails as well, and it was so much fun. And I really miss
Damn,
that.
That's Vegas right
That
there.
is Vegas
I
right
love
there.
I
that.
miss my porn star brunches. Okay, so for the last time this year, you have Al Mancini, Gemini Stevens, and Andrew Morgan with Rich Johnson doing the hard work on the back end. Thank you all for listening this week and every week, this year, every year, next year. Enjoy your holidays, and whether you are indulging your caviar dreams or searching out the best slice of pizza, remember, you always got to stay hungry.